We all know the popular horror podcast Creepcast, but what many of you may not know is that there is a lost episode out there that no one remembers. This episode was only ever on the Creepcast YouTube channel and was only up for about an hour before it was taken down forever, and I can find no traces of it on the internet anywhere. The episode started just like any other episode of Creepcast. They mentioned how they found the story that they were going to talk about on Reddit. After about a minute of watching this episode, I noticed something was pretty off. There were no jokes. Neither of them even cracked a smile at this point. I noticed that every time the camera cut to Hunter, he seemed pale. Every word that came out of his mouth seemed rushed and slightly panicked. The sense of dread was palpable in the air, but as I would soon find out, that was the least weird thing going on. Whenever the camera cut to Wendigoon, or Isaiah, I noticed that it didn't look like him. It looked like some sort of uncanny valley version of him. His eyes were sunken and deep. It looks like he hadn't slept in days. This is when I started to get concerned and looked at the comments section. When I looked at the comments section, the video completely cut, and I got the notification saying that this video was deleted. I thought nothing of it and just thought maybe the editor had done a poor job and they wanted to remake the video. I thought this whole thing was pretty odd, but I figured they would just re-upload the episode soon in a better quality. Soon after, I found another video to watch, and my horror craving for that night was satisfied. I had almost entirely forgotten about this event until the next day came around, and I opened the YouTube app once again. What I saw when I opened the app made my heart drop. I saw the little box in the corner that said "Continue watching" with a picture of Wendigoon and Meat Canyon. I thought this was impossible as the video had been deleted. I quickly went to the Creepcast YouTube channel and noticed that the video was not re-uploaded. I cautiously decided to hit continue watching, and what I saw next scared the heebie-jeebies out of me. This was a completely different experience from what I had watched the day before. Meat Canyon was completely pale. He looked scared out of his mind and was frantically looking around the room. Wendigoon's eyes were completely sunken in. They were just holes completely filled with blackness. At this point, I was completely panicked. I tried to close the YouTube app, but my phone was completely unresponsive. I even tried to factory reset it, and nothing worked. It was stuck watching this video. I was panicking even more at this point. I threw my phone across the room, and it knocked over my large pile of feminist literature. I then had to get up out of bed and pick it up, which is really hard for me because I am 6'4" and very muscular. It was at this point that I noticed my phone was still playing the video, but something had changed. Wendigoon was no longer in the video. It would cut to his studio, but he was not in the chair. When it would cut back to Meat Canyon, he was in a fetal position, sobbing on the floor. My phone then started glitching very heavily. It was like in Slender the Eight Pages when Slender Man gets close to you. The last thing that I noticed was a very tall figure standing over Meat Canyon. As I looked at the figure more before my phone completely shut off, I saw that it was the sunken eyes of whatever had taken over Wendigoon. My phone was completely bricked after this. Nothing worked, and I ended up having to get a new phone. When I got my new phone, the first thing I did was go to the Creepcast YouTube channel, but I noticed nothing was out of place. They had even uploaded a new video. I went through the comments to see if anyone was talking about their previous video, but there were no comments about it. I made a brief comment saying, "What was the deal with that last video?" but when I went to go post it, it wouldn't post. This would be the end of the story, but something happened last night, and that's why I'm posting this. It was around 3 in the morning, and I got a ring at my doorbell. I cautiously looked through my peephole, and I saw a figure standing in the distance, crouched behind a bush. This was the same figure that was standing over Meat Canyon, a Wendigoon shape with sunken eyes. The figure then ran away quickly. The next morning, I opened my door and I saw a note. This note said to not speak of what I had seen. I don't know if I am in danger by posting this story, but please, if anyone else has seen this video, let me know.